We are going to do the advertisement at the end, but look at all these sponsors' names and look at the event date and go to that event and let's get started.
The door's open.
Yeah. You gotta slam it, but yeah.
All right.
Probably
I think
just
I'm
gonna hurt
denting the
yourself.
car. Hello, Lone Star Drift audience. Today's topic is very odd. It's called 15 Minutes of Fame, and we're here with Fielding Shredder, and this is going to be a brutal look into the life of Fielding. The whole concept is,
Great.
You had your 15 minutes of fame with Hyperdrive.
Yep.
What have you transitioned that into to get out of your 15-minute of fame spot and try and transition into something bigger? Because Hyperdrive must have had like 50 million people or something watch it. Do you know how many?
500 million.
What?
Yeah.
That's a significant portion of the entire planet. That's
Yeah.
1/16 of the planet.
That's right.
I think that's 500 million viewings of, like, they're counting every episode at that point.
No, it was 500 million unique viewers. They have 2 billion.
No way.
They have 2 billion subscribers, and 25% watched it.
Well, you peaked then, and this episode's over. This is not going to happen.
No, there is no bigger than that.
That would be bigger than Adam.
Way bigger. Like,
So how do you transition
Way
that
bigger.
into something sustainable?
well, remember, they're not watching me, they're watching the show.
I'm going to make sure I press record 1 second. This is stressful, filming yourself like this.
Is it rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling.
All right.
All right, keep going. I can just cut that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't compare me to Adam in the sense that, like, Adam has his own subscribers, he has his own network, has his own distribution. People are watching him, they're watching him on a daily basis, and they think of him like a friend or like someone that they would want to hang out with. Whereas me, on that stage of Hyperdrive, it was just, I was one of 30 contestants. I was on this game show essentially, and it was distributed on Netflix, not on YouTube. So completely different demographic. These people are subscribing, paying money every month, and they're wanting to get this content given to them in a professional fashion, not like something that's shot by the end user by themselves. And so it's a completely different stage, I think, and so they look at it differently. Like when you watch, I don't know, Wheel of Fortune, you don't think like the same thing that you watch when you see a friend on YouTube. Totally different, I think.
Wheel of Fortune's not a good example.
Okay, fine.
Wheel of Fortune is just somebody off the street.
Any like game show, Ninja Warrior, or like any kind of game show that you watch.
None of those game shows are at the level of what they spent on that show. How much did they spend on Hyperdrive?
It was $30 million.
Whew.
Yeah, it's more money than
That could have built a lot of episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
And filmed there.
And you wonder why there's no Hyperdrive 2. So
how do you transition? Because media, we've all come to the realization, is important in professional racing, or being a racer in general. How do you transition into something where you have your own distribution model, or you have something that your sponsors would be happy? You have, I don't know what you want. What do you want?
Yeah.
And how do you get there?
I mean, I've always maintained that I just want to be happy. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to, do what I want to do without like harming others and like.
That's a
causing
great
pain in the
answer,
ass.
but that's a bullshit answer for
No,
what
it's
we're
not.
doing.
Well,
no, it is. So
It's true.
I told you I was going to drag you through
That's
the calls
fine.
on this one. He asked me to, by the way. He asked me. He's like, be rough.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
I said
He's a
don't.
sadist.
I said you always talk about not pulling
He said,
punches.
get my leash. So, starting though,
Yeah.
if you are going to do Hyperdrive and you're a professional racer, what sponsors did you pick up for Hyperdrive, and how did you monetize Hyperdrive? Like, say, did you get paid to be on it?
Nope.
Okay, so you didn't get paid to be on it. So did all your sponsors pay you to be on it?
No, we weren't allowed to charge them.
What?
Yeah, they have. It's very strictly written in the contract. I couldn't pick up new sponsors for the show, and I couldn't ask them for money to be on the show. And part of that is because they didn't want people like going and being like, I'm going to be on Netflix. I need $500,000. But they also, we didn't have a final show. We didn't know what it was going to be like. We didn't know who was going to be on it. In the contract, it said that they could edit me any way they wanted. So they could make me look like an asshole, like an immature idiot,
Make you look
like a hero, like a villain, like whatever they want. And they have the capability of doing that. And they also can completely edit me out of the show. If they didn't like me for whatever reason, or I posted some political stuff on my social or whatever that they didn't like, they could literally just make me disappear. And I was not even there. So because of that, they didn't want us like going out and trying to tell these companies we're going to do this big thing, and then it may not happen, and then we get screwed over because we screwed over the sponsors, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it totally made sense. I didn't get any new sponsors for the show. They didn't even like pay for anything besides just travel expenses there, but all the prep on my car I had to do by myself. I had to pay for myself and fund. I did have my existing sponsors, which I told them about, and so they said, okay, you can, maintain those relationships, and of those, like, I was able to get some spare suspension arms and from SPL Parts, and like some coilovers from BC, and like a couple little things to help me out, some tires from Kenda, but I wasn't able to get new big things or anything like that. Like, I wasn't able to be like, hey, I need a new build. I want a new engine, a new transmission, this, that, and the other. It was nothing like that. So, I wasn't able to monetize it like you're asking. And then after the fact, it was kind of like this thing happened, it's great, but is there going to be a number two? If I could guarantee and say there's going to be a number two, I need, 100 grand from whatever company, then I would be able to pitch that, and it would be a viable source of income. But I can't do that. I don't have that ability. There isn't a number two like guaranteed right now. They're still talking about doing it. It's just really expensive. And so I have to find other avenues in order to do it. I've got my Instagram account that grew quite a bit. My YouTube.
How much did it grow?
It went from 8,000 to 130,000.
Okay. So you're basically paid in Instagram likes.
Yep.
Are those people good followers?
I think they are. The engagement is much higher than like a lot of other accounts that have that many followers. Most of those fans are fans of Hyperdrive and me on Hyperdrive. So like when I'm posting stuff like Lone Star Drift or Drift Week, they might be not as excited. So like if I post a picture of my Hyperdrive, I get about 15 to 20,000 likes. And
so if you're reliving your 15 minutes of glory, they're there to like, your 15 minutes of glory. But if you try and post anything that's not Hyperdrive, they're not quite as supportive.
Yeah, then I'll get like between 3,000 and 6,000 likes. Okay. So it's like less than half. And even still today, like I'll post like, hey, we're on this stop on Drift Week, and every now and then there'll be someone that like, hey, I saw you on Hyperdrive, you were awesome. And I'm like, okay, but that has nothing to do with this. And that was 2 years ago. Like, we should talk about new things, like how cool it is that I'm still driving this car, doing these cool tracks. Like, people, I think, maybe put Hyperdrive on a pedestal because it was such a big stage. It was so spectacular visually. But a lot of them don't understand cars and car dynamics and driving. And they don't understand that what I did on that show, although it was difficult and very challenging and dangerous, compared to like tandeming with you at Horse Thief, that was way scarier, way harder to do, way more sketchy.
We should have had a container jump at the end.
Yeah, right. And like that to me, I'm like, this is the cool shit. Like you and me.
People aren't watching it.
And they don't understand that. They don't get it. And even if it's like.
Is it because you're not properly showing them?
Possibly part of that. Maybe it's because there's not like celebrities in the background being like, whoa, on the mic. Maybe it's because they're not watching it on Netflix, they're watching it on YouTube, which changed their dynamic mentally. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that kind of consumer. I don't know market dynamics like that, so I couldn't tell you why. But it is kind of, mind-blowing to me that like the actual difficult, cool stuff to me is not the same to a large majority of my fan base.
Yeah. So how do you transition now? Right now, so it sounds like Hyperdrive didn't pay you. You probably didn't pick up any cash off Hyperdrive. Maybe a little bit. Maybe some people have seen you.
Yeah, so like
somebody's kid knows who you are, and you get in, like something helps. You got a ton of Instagram followers. Maybe you got some YouTube followers off the same thing, but you're not making a lot of YouTube content. I think you're personally better on Instagram.
Okay.
It's kind of your medium. I remember for a while you were showing all your stories of you working on stuff, and those are kind of ephemeral. Is that the word?
I don't know.
Yeah, anyways, and you're doing a great job, but like, one, you can't monetize that.
Yeah.
Two, it disappears after 24 hours. It was kind of the wrong, but it was easy for you to post, but you're doing a very good job at it. From my perspective, I want you to, one, be able to do as many Drift Weeks as you can, because you're kind of like one of the core 4 people that have done all 4 of them. Probably by number 5 or number 6, one of those people will drop off or something. I want some core people to do everything I do. Same thing with like you went to Japan with me, you do Lone Star Drift stuff. I want this car in Lone Star Drift driving with people. I want you in your Z. I want you having fun. I want you around. Yeah. I don't want to always have to get new drivers to replace the old ones.
Yeah.
So by me thinking all those topics and reasons or whatever I want to say those are, subjects, I don't know. I want you to figure out how to take that 15 minutes of fame and turn it into something, or maybe it just goes away. Because it is slowly fading, isn't it?
It's slowly fading, and I mean, I'm able to kind of like pivot. So, for example, Core Culture, it's a new sponsor of mine. It's a big sponsor of mine. They're the title sponsor for next year and the remainder of this year. They saw me on Hyperdrive. They liked me, but it was still a bit of happenstance. You know, they thought it was cool, but they didn't contact me or anything. And I was just happened to be working, teaching people how to drift at Texas Drift Academy, and the guys from Core Culture were there, and it was the dad and his 2 sons, and I instructed them, and you know, they played it cool and everything, but like I didn't know who they were, and the sons knew who I was, and the dad was like, oh yeah, I kind of recognize him, kind of thing, and it was really nice. The kid gave me a compliment, which I'll only repeat because he said it, and he was like, Dad, do you have any idea like what this is like? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, this is like Kobe trying to teach you how to shoot a free throw. And I'm thinking, like, I don't feel like I'm, you know, Kobe in NBA, but I understand that the analogy, you know, that was cool. And so afterward, they did offer me a sponsorship, which significantly changed my program and allowed me to have some funding to do stuff like Drift Week 3 and 4, and then continue on, you know, drifting for the rest of the year and more so next year. So I can travel a little bit more now. I'm a little more comfortable and relaxed at like, okay, I'm not starving, I'm not having to work as much as I possibly can just to get to the next event. So I can now focus more on media, and so that's what I'm gonna do now is like focus more on YouTube, try and push that a bit more, and you know, with their help, you know, promote them and promote myself and grow as well. So, you know, some of the sponsors I got after Hyperdrive were like NK Wheels, right? Before that, they didn't care about me. And then after, they're like, you have a following now, we want to put our wheels on your car. So that was cool. And I was able to even say, like, I only want these wheels, only want the PF05s.
I don't even get those.
Yeah, I know. And at first they were like, no, you can have like the RPF ones or whatever. I was like, no, I want a 5-spoke concave wheel, because that's what the look of my car is, that's what I like. And I don't want to change that too much. Same reason I haven't painted the car since Hyperdrive. I mean, you know, I used to paint the car every year. It would be a different color, different scheme, different wheels, all that. And now it's like,
you gotta ride your past glory, baby.
Well, what I like about this,
it needs to be. People need to know it's you immediately.
Exactly, exactly, and it has become iconic. Feels weird for me to say that, but it is in the sense that like when people see this car now, they relive the emotions that they had when they watched it on Hyperdrive. And so because of that, they're immediately excited. And then if I can give them a ride-along in it, they're hyped, you know?
Oh, ride-alongs. Yeah. That's the perfect thing.
Yeah.
You've almost done more in ride-alongs than you probably have in sponsorship.
Absolutely,
in a lot of ways.
Way more.
So you've monetized ride-alongs
Yeah.
at some of our events pretty well. Do you want to say how much you've made at some of them?
I mean, I can bring in like 5K in a weekend, so 2 days.
And the people are ecstatic to drive in the car.
Yeah.
They line up for an hour or two. And
yeah, at Coda they do.
Yeah, I was going to say,
hour-long wait.
It's an amazing experience for both them and you, because you are rewarded for doing all that.
Yeah.
I love that. And
I
it
mean,
gives them the experience inside the car. I'm going to need to put a jump on the track, though, for that.
I would love to do
please
it.
Don't.
Yeah, no, it'd be great.
Destroy the car. 200 ride-alongs with
a jump?
Yeah, with a jump, that would destroy the car.
I'll get Seika to build me some long travel, big boy shocks.
Yeah, you're like, slide me a 50 and we'll do the jump, otherwise we're just doing this.
That's right, yeah.
Have an optional
the jump is double.
Jump up against the wall.
Right. No, I would love to do that. And that is a big one, is that like, you saw, I mean, you know, I hustle at the ride-along events. I treat it very serious. I have a signage, I have employees that help, I have helmets on deck, I've got, you know, someone taking money, giving tickets, all that stuff that the other drivers don't necessarily do, but it has allowed me to make that something that pays.
How long
for it.
can you do that before no one remembers Hyperdrive? That's the problem with 15 minutes of fame, is it fades fast.
I really don't know, but you know, honestly, less than, or probably about half of the people that ride with me don't even know about Hyperdrive.
Really?
Yeah, they don't. Maybe a third of the people don't know about it, but they're just watching the track. They're watching who's driving. They watch like the sound of the car, the look of the car. They think that one's really cool, and then they see the line of people ready to ride with me, and they're like, they must be doing something for a reason, so like I'm gonna ride it there. Mm-hmm. And other people are like, I don't want to wait in line. I'll just go ride with this guy, and that's fine too, as long as, you know, everyone gets a piece. That's great. But I think that is something to do with it. Like, it's a whole package. It's not just they saw it on Hyperdrive, so they want to ride in it. That's probably 50 to 70% of the people, at least in the beginning. I think even anymore, like on Drift Week, when we were doing ride-alongs, there weren't very many people at all that recognized it from Hyperdrive, or if they did, maybe
I kind of think they did. Maybe the
they
people
didn't
just
care
don't say
anymore.
something.
Yeah, maybe they don't say anything. I don't know.
Because at all ride-along events, you automatically have more ride-alongs than anyone else, and I assume that has to do something with Hyperdrive and your Instagram count. Because all those people on Instagram did come from Hyperdrive, so they all know about Hyperdrive.
That's true.
You probably only have 8,000 people out of 130,000 on Instagram that don't know you're on Hyperdrive.
Maybe so.
And then if those 8,000 original people actually looked at your feed, they would know you're on Hyperdrive. So pretty much everybody on your Instagram feed.
Maybe
So back to the original subject. What can you do so I don't lose you as a driver within drifting and you burn out because it gets too expensive or whatever? Because you are 12 years into this now.
Right.
This is your life. You live in your race trailer with your shop here and all this stuff. Like, you drift. You have a field of cars. This is your life. How do you do it? Do you flip cars and make money? Do you get sponsors? Do you do Instagram somehow? I don't know how Instagram makes money. TikTok, YouTube. It's easy to say like, oh, I'm going to go pursue this, but then you know what it's like. You tried YouTube. It takes years to do, and it doesn't pay off immediately. It's difficult.
I mean,
what do you do?
it's all the above. You know, some intelligent investments could help. Flipping cars is something I definitely do. You know, making money on YouTube, typically, for me at least, is not ad revenue. It's more like selling sponsors or commercial spots within the videos. On, I think, Instagram, you can't really make any money. Although I just got a thing that popped up that said, you can make money now, click here. And I'm like,
well, you could literally sell core, what's it called?
Core Culture.
Core
Brainbox?
Culture. Brainbox stuff, do they not have like an affiliate link that you could sell?
Yeah, I do, and I've been selling it.
And do you get a cut?
I do. I get a small percentage, so that's
Is it
good.
enough to feed yourself?
If enough people buy it, sure.
But has it been historically enough to feed yourself?
No, it's only been on the market for a few months now, so.
Okay.
Oh
man, we have a plane now. There's always something in our videos.
Yeah, it's all right.
We're in a flight path.
It's building, you know, it's building its momentum. I think the more people that try it, because the thing about that one is it's a nootropic supplement. It's not a car part. So it's hard to get people that are into drifting interested in something that's for health and for your well-being, and they just have to trust me. And like, if I tell them to try it, sometimes they'll try it, sometimes they won't. And so it's hard to like get someone to do it. And then once they do, then maybe they will. But it's not easy just like, do this.
You're an Instagram fit chick of cars.
Not exactly, but.
Yeah, you are. You're literally an Instagram fit. You're like hawking protein shakes here.
It's not the same at all, I don't think. And in this case, so part of it was I wouldn't endorse it unless it worked.
Okay.
And I told them that in the beginning. They wanted to just write me a check. They're like, we want you to start posting on your Instagram. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I want to try it out for 6 weeks. And they were just like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I want to try your product for 6 weeks and make sure that it works, that I don't get sick, that it doesn't give me a headache, that it doesn't make me puke. Like, I want to make sure that this is something that I can back, because my integrity is something I can't get back, and it's something that I have a lot of pride in. So I did. I tried it for 6 weeks, and they actually really appreciated that in the end. And now I can honestly say, like, it has made me a better driver. It has made me more focused. It does actually work, and you should honestly try it. And if you believe me, then you can try it.
He's like, coreculture.com.
No, I don't have to do all that. I think people will understand that I'm being genuine when I say that.
I know.
Same
This
thing
isn't
with-
an Herbalife Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, it's
Are
not
you trying
at all.
to get affiliates underneath you to sell it?
No, not at all.
I'm
at
not
all.
doing your sales scheme.
No, you don't need to do that.
Okay.
Not at all. And like, I've asked you if you want to try it, but I haven't pushed you to do it. And
You haven't even given it to me.
all right, I'll give you some. I'll give you some as soon as this interview's
Do
over.
you like snort it? How do we
No,
do
it's
it?
just a pill. You just take some.
A pill?
And you take it once a day. You take 3
If you don't
pills.
smoke
and
it,
you're
I'm
done.
not interested.
Yeah, well, not this stuff.
So, it doesn't sound like you have a concrete plan.
I don't have a concrete plan. I'm more of like a fly by the seat of your pants, kind of like you are. And you know, you gotta have.
Except I'm editing YouTube at a furious rate, trying my little heart
Yeah.
out. Why aren't you doing that?
Because
We're talking about you transition to something else, and the only thing I know how to do right now for the race car thing, for social media, is YouTube. And by the way, we were hanging out with Corey Funk, who has they have 6.5 million followers on their Funk Brothers account. He did Drift Week 4, and he's telling us, he's like, yo, TikTok is the future for you guys that don't have already huge, massive followings. And I'm like, don't tell me this. Like,
Yeah.
I am not doing this. Like, you leave me alone. Leave me alone with your Snapchat torture. They're like, Weemoji on the Wii Plus is the correct place to go beyond. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I started a TikTok, but I don't pay attention to it. I don't ever check it. I just post something and that's that.
Yeah, I never got into Twitter or anything either.
Yeah, I didn't do Twitter ever. I never did Snapchat. I don't know.
I don't even look at Reddit.
I don't look at Reddit either.
So
So
are you pushing YouTube? It doesn't seem like to me you are.
not hard enough, but I am going to start doing better at that.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, but it's part of my contract with Core
good.
Culture, so like push that more so I can have some commercial time. And I think that will in turn help build the brand and build my program better.
The Fielding Shredder brand or the Cold?
Both.
Okay.
Both. You know, they work together hand in hand. But like, if they want to go do a traveling event and I can bring the car, that's going to help that, right? 'Cause
Oh,
like,
that'd be really good.
yeah, that I can bring the car, that'll help me, and that'll also help get people's eyes over there, like what's going on over here kind of thing. So like we talked about going to do a barbecue cookout thing, right? So like Texas is huge for barbecue. There's competitions where you know, do
You're
a
gonna
brisket.
go do a burnout and get tire dust on all the barbecue?
No, but like if my car was at the booth, then people would automatically be more attracted to it because it's much different than every other booth with just a smoker and a redneck there with a brisket,
understand.
you know? So like that's one thing that doesn't cost a lot of money, but does help improve both ends of the spectrum there. And just all sorts of stuff like that. We're talking about traveling to like Costa Rica and doing a retreat there, and that would be cool. Any kind of traveling I can do with drifting will help promote any supporters of mine. So like right now I'm trying to get over to France to go and do some stuff with Seika because they've told me, come drive my car and we want to, you know, let you compete with the French. And I'm like, that'd be great.
That'd be rad.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. And then just in Drift Week 4, when I talked to David, he was like, yeah, you can come to Ireland and like we'll hang out and we'll go to a drift event and stuff. And I was like, that'd be amazing. Like I would love that. So the networking has helped, but it's a slow process and I probably don't work as efficiently and I still have bills to pay. I don't have a war chest or a nest egg that I can burn. I don't have a rich parents or a you know, bank account that or like a what's that called, a trust fund. I don't have any of that, so it is like a struggle. And for me, YouTube right now won't pay any money, so I have to focus on like flipping a car or selling parts or doing fab work or like teaching at a school so that I can pay the bills that are due now and then slowly chip away at the long term. So that's a tough part, I think.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like Core Culture is your exit strategy on all this, and you're going to utilize your relationship with them to do lots of different things and hope that that builds a big enough thing.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Where I kind of feel like that locks you into almost like a paid job or something, if you know what I mean, like appearances and everything else. I don't know if it'll stack as well as having your own distribution channel of like YouTube being large enough. Although, I mean, you already have it on your Instagram.
Yeah. Well, what
but
I was
you
hoping
having an
is,
audience large enough that you can control your future.
Yeah. What I'm hoping though is that the money Core Culture gives me will help me offset having to spend that time working, and then I can use that time to build the audience on YouTube, and then that will eventually take over where, you know, it may be, whether it's YouTube or not, I don't know, but some sort of audience or some sort of gig that has, you know, reoccurring income, and then I don't have to rely on sponsors or hustling.
By the way, guys, on YouTube, we've been having this exact same conversation in these videos with Fielding for like 5 years now, and I've just been trying to beat him into doing his YouTube for like 5 years, and he won't do it effectively. And there's some videos that you've done, like fixing the wheels on my channel, which immediately broke, didn't they, the wheels?
Not immediately, those are different wheels.
Oh, you're like, they broke, but they
Just
lasted
later,
a couple days.
Yeah.
That video did like 90-something thousand views on my channel, so thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I do, is do video for you. I get paid nothing.
But no, I did give you money off that.
You gave me $100.
Yeah, I said I would give you all the money for the first 90 days or something.
No, you just gave me $100.
Oh, well, I gave you all the money it made at that point. It's just that it was there
fine.
for a year
Yeah,
or
it's
two,
fine.
you know, like it added up. Because I can't go back and remember what everything is.
I know, that's
but yeah,
fine.
I give people the money off the videos on my
That's true.
channel that they make. That's so sad. That's all I'm paying. I think it actually did like $300 or something over time.
Yeah.
But I think that you have done some cool videos and stuff, and you should continue to do more content. And I don't know, everybody sees my thing. Anyways, I think we've talked about this subject enough.
Yeah.
Your plan is to do more with the one big sponsor. Your plan is to do a little bit more YouTube. Your only real thing you got from Hyperdrive, besides the fame in everybody's eyes, was including sponsors' eyes and everybody else, was the only tangible thing that you easily could put your finger on was 130,000 Instagram followers.
And a wrecked car.
And a wrecked car and stuff. Yeah. But
that was
cool.
very tangible.
I'm just pushing you towards the future, and I want you to succeed. Yeah. So
Thanks.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, high five.
All right.
Bam, I hope this is in focus.
Sure, so better be. Did you push record?
Hopefully.
Probably. Audio check. Is it recording?
It's a little late for that.
Yeah, I know.
But it is never too late to say thank you to the sponsors: BC Racing Coilovers, WhatMonstersDo.com, NK Wheels, Volino Tires, ECU Master, and KBD Body Kits. Thank you so much, you guys. And as always, we have an event coming up at Gulf Greyhound Park on March 26th and 27th down in Houston. I will see you there. Thank you so much. Bye.